Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I would like to talk about Perm, okay, and just an introduction really of what it is. I have lots of different videos on the different aspects of Perm, but I have received a couple consults within the last couple weeks that give me concern that there's a complete misinterpretation of what perm is. So, for example, I had somebody call me up and she goes, I've done a lot of research and I understand that I want to get a company to do an H-2B and that they need to be certified to do that. And I said, no, that's not correct. And then she goes, well, I've looked on the internet and I know that there needs to be some kind of certification to get some kind of employment visa. And I go, well, that's not exactly true. So here is the video on why that's not true. First of all, to get an H-2B, the company doesn't have to be certified. It needs to be a real company that needs a temporary position. Now, the certification is what used to be called labor certification, okay? And this is ultimately for the green card. So, pretend on the other side that, you're going to get married to a U.S. citizen and then you're going to immigrate through family-based means, through your spouse. Well, let's say now you don't have any U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident relatives. How can you get in the U.S.? Well, one big way is through employment. Okay. So the petitioner, instead of being a family member, is an employer. And the first big part of a petition in which the person needs to obtain lawful permanent residency is called the Perm process, or what used to be called labor certification. Now, what the Perm process is basically the same thing labor certification was, except it is supposed to um, go electronically. It doesn't have to go through paper. And there's all kinds of requirements and ways that you have to show that the person qualifies for the position and so forth. But the bottom line of a perm is to show that there are no available U.S. workers for the position. Okay, whatever the position happens to be, there is no available U.S. workers. So if the position is line cook or doctor or communication marketing analyst or whatever the number of thousands of jobs are, um, there's a hundred things you need to do to make sure it's done right, and procedurally what needs to follow to make sure procedurally it's done right. But the bottom line at the end of the day is that if the Department of Labor has seen everything, agrees with it, they certify that there is in fact no available U.S. workers for that particular position. And then you can go on to the next step in the green card. There's actually three different steps to get lawful permanent residency, but the perm process is about 70 to 80% of the entire work, and it is most definitely the most important. So when you look on the internet and you see that the company has to be certified, number one, it's not the company. Number two, it's the position, the job. And if it's done properly, then you are able to have somebody immigrate to the United States through employment. And depending what country you're from, will depend how long it takes in order for the visa number to become current. To give you an example, if you happen to be from India, they are way backed up. And even if you have a master's degree or higher and do a perm, you're going to be waiting over 10 years, give or take. So, you know, if you're from India, give me a call because let you know of other options. But generally, in many of the countries around the world, even ones that are super backlogged in family based, such as in the Philippines, which, by the way, if you have a U.S. citizen brother or sister petition you from the Philippines, that will take 22 years to become current. So if you can do it through employment, you'll be here a whole lot faster. Okay, so if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming weeks. Thank you.